The sum of two numbers is negative 21. If one number is one less than 3 times the other, find the numbers. So what we're looking for are two numbers. So I'm going to let x be my first number, and I'm going to let y be my second number. So in looking for my system of linear inequations, I'm going to write one equation per sentence. The sum of two numbers is negative 21. So that means if I add the two numbers, because sum means addition, I end up with a negative 21. Let's look at the next sentence. If one number is one less than 3 times the other. Okay, so that's not even a whole part of the sentence, but we can figure this out. We can figure this out by looking at this and creating an equation because the word is in there. So I'm going to let x, say the one number, is 1 less. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 1 from something, 3 times the other. The other is y, so 3y minus 1. Now looking at the system, I'm going to use substitution because one variable, the x, is already equal to something in terms of the y. And I'm going to put it into the other equation. So I'm looking at this first equation. I'm going to rewrite, instead of x, I'm going to put, so I'm going to substitute into that equation. So 3y minus 1 plus y is equal to negative 21. I'm going to add 1 to both sides, which gives me 4y is equal to negative 20 divided by 4. I get y is equal to negative 5. I'm going to now find my x, and I'm going to use this equation to do that because it already says x is equal to something, so it's going to be equal to 3 times negative 5 minus 1, which means x is equal to negative 16. So my ordered pair is negative 16, negative 5, but it's a word problem, so I'm going to say that the numbers are negative 5 and negative 16. Now, let's do a quick check. The sum of negative 5 and negative 16 is negative 21. That takes care of the first equation. And the second one is 3 times our y, which is a negative 5, minus 1 is negative 16, and they both check. Let's move on to number 5. The Cirque du Soleil, the Cirque du Soleil show Corteo is performing locally. Matinee admission for 4 adults and 2 children is $374, while admission for 2 adults and 3 children is $285. Write the system of equations for the described information. Find the price of an adult's ticket and the price of a child's ticket. So I need to have my variables. I'm going to let A equal the adult ticket, and C is going to be equal to the price, or the number, I should say, the price of the child ticket. So what I do know, and I'm going to go sentence by sentence, matinee admission for 4 adults and 2 children is $374. So 4 adults plus 2 children, 2C, is equal to $374. Looking at the next part of the sentence, it says while admission for 2 adults and 3 children is $285. So 2 adults plus 3 children is $285. And we're supposed to find the price of an adult ticket and the price of a child's ticket. So when I look at this, and both equations are in the standard form of that the same form. For, you know, a coefficient times a plus a coefficient times c is equal to a number. And I'm going to use the process of the addition method, also known as the elimination method. I'm going to eliminate my a values because I have a 4a in the top equation and a 2a in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this first equation over just the way it is. 4a plus 2c is equal to 374. And what I'm going to do with the bottom equation is I'm going to multiply it, the whole thing, by -2. So that will give me a minus 4a minus 6c is equal to, fix this up here, is equal to, well, 2 times, or -2 times 285 is -570. Okay, so I'm going to add them, and those my a's cancel, which I wanted, and I get minus 4c, and then I have to do some subtraction. I have to do 374 minus 570, and I end up with negative 196. Divide both sides by -4, and I get C equal to 49. And so it would end up being $49 because it's the price of a child's ticket. Now we need to find the price of an adult ticket. So I'm going to find, okay, we found C, and that's really, really good. So what I need to do now is I need to find A. All right, to find A, just pick an equation and put $49 in for C. So for A, I'm going to take the first equation because you can use either equation because it's going to be true for both. Okay, so I did 4A plus 2 times the price of a child's ticket, which is $49, is equal to 374. This ends up being $98. So I'm going to subtract, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to do the multiplication in my head. I'm going to subtract the 98 right away because 2 times 49 is 98. And I get 4A is equal to 276. And I divide by 4, and I get A is equal to 66. And in this case, it would be, I'm checking my math, 69 actually. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's why I check. So I'm going to answer here. The adult ticket is $69. The child ticket is $49. So this would be the answer. Let's move on to number 6. A plane travels with the wind from Kansas City, Missouri to Denver, Colorado, a distance of 600 miles in 4 hours. The return trip against the same wind takes 5 hours. Find the speed of the plane in still air and the speed of the wind. All right, so we are going to look for the speed of the plane and the speed of the wind. So I'm going to let A be the speed of the plane, of the airplane, I guess that's why I picked an A, and W be the speed of the wind. So we want to find both. All right, now I'm going to use a little chart here because we've done lots of charts for distance equals rate times time. So we have the rate times time equals distance, okay? So we're going to go with the wind, and we have it against the wind. All right. Now, a plane travels, let's go ahead and look at this first one. A plane travels with the wind, Colorado, which is 600 miles in 4 hours. With the wind. Now, with the wind, we're going to have the speed of the plane, right? And then we're going to add to that the speed of the wind because the wind's going to push it. So as far as the rate, it's going to be A plus W times the time, which is 4 hours, and the distance is going to be 600. Now against the wind, in that case, here's the plane, but the wind's pushing it. And so we're actually going to subtract here. And so we're going to start with the speed of the plane, and we have to then subtract the speed of the wind. It's going to take us longer. It takes us 6 hours. And so again, it is 600 miles. So those are our two equations. When we look at these equations, I will have 4a, I'm going to do some distribution, plus 4w is equal to 600. And I have 6a minus 6w is equal to 600. Now I can multiply, but I can also divide. And I want to show you that if I divide by a common factor, I'm going to divide everything by a 4 because then I get a nice A and I get a nice W. Okay, so let's take a look at that. I get A then plus W, and then 600 divided by 4 is 150. And in the second one, since A and W have the same coefficient, in this case, I'm going to divide by 6. Watch this. A minus W is equal to 100. Now, just by adding or multiplying or dividing, right, I'm ready. Look at my coefficients. I have the opposite coefficient on my W's. They cancel. And I have 2a is equal to 250. So a is equal to 125. And that is the speed of the plane. Okay, so now I need to find my W. And for my W, I'm going to use actually this equation here because it's really nice and simple, right? 100, oh, let me rewrite that. I know my A is 125. I'm going to add my W is equal to 150. Now, if I subtract 125 from both sides, I get 25. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze in this answer. I'm going to write it at the top of the next page. The speed of the plane is 125 miles per hour. The wind speed is 25 miles per hour. All right, sorry, it's on the next page, but